TRW back here at the wargaming table with the game La Reconquista magazine wargame from Alea 2011. The battle here is Quart, fought in the 11th century, late 11th century. Before I get on, pick up with the second impulses for both players. I do want to mention, I did look with respect to the retreating, check the Spanish, check the English translation again, did my own English translation, and actually there is the key word in there. The only piece of evidence I can find to help with this is back. So it is retreating or moving back. That's it. So it's reasonable to say back from the combat, back from the enemy units that just attacked, and that would be for both players. So and it's the translations too. Translations say, there's rally, which is a 1 hex retreat, and then there's there's retreat. Wait, let me get this right. There is so the English translation that comes with the game, retreat is 1 hex, rally is 2 hexes. But when I did my own translation, what they're calling retreat, I think I prefer just withdraw. Withdraw is the 1 hex retreat. The 2 hex, what they call rally, I might call that retreat. So withdraw is 1 hex, retreats 2 hexes, maybe, is another way of looking at it. But in any case, when you do that 2 hex movement back, like we did here, so the attacker chooses the defender to go back this way, which I guess the attacker can choose the target to go here, here, or here. Oh, but could he choose here? I wonder. I don't know. But anyways, I had the attacker choose here. Now, you know what? I'm not going to parse this too much. I'm just going to say you have the 2 attackers here. So I'm going to say that the attacker should have pushed the target unit back that way. That is back from both attackers, back from the combat hex, and then the defender can choose to go this hex, or this hex. I think, because it's not that different. Okay, same end result, but what's important is there is back. The idea is back. So what that means is that under normal conditions you cannot backtrack. So that tells me that you cannot have the attacker push him back this way and the defender pushes him back back to the same hex, or retrace steps. So that means that when they talk about being pushed off the map, so to use this example, you have a defender. So you have a defender here, and it's pushed off the map. It can come back to the same hex. So that would be an exception. It's not listed as such, but that would be an exception. So normally it goes back 2 hexes. First hex decided by the attacker, second hex by the defender. Okay. So now what we do, having finished the first impulses, movement and combat for both players, we would move any unused Noxet markers to the Alama track for use in the second half of the turn. We don't have any of those. So then we go to placing the Noxet markers. So we go player A. Player A is the Muslim side. On the Alama track, the Muslim Alama marker is at 1. This unit here this is where he's in play. He's in this hex. Just the track is overprinted. So here's the Muslim, player A, Alama marker. which means they have one initiative point to use. So we take a Noxud marker and we put it on, let's see, we still want to get the center up here, so we'll put it on the next Mugavir. Oh, I actually remembered one, but I actually want to review also what it is. So the Muga is short for Mugavir. That's the Muslim version of the Almogavirs. Yeah. Alright, so that's that. This is that's the one initiative point to use. Then we go to player B. Yeah. They have 2 points. Here's their marker. They have 2 points. So take 2 Noxud markers like that. That's what we'll do. There's always one. Okay. You don't need the ones after. Just keeping track of it. In the whole turn, 2 units have moved for both sides. Now it just happens to be that way. Not that it's always that way at all. Alright, so continue on with the Yine unit here. And with the adult medium cavalry unit there. Okay. So that's their Alama marker, their 2 points spent. Now we go to player A, activations or movement, and then combat. Yeah. Okay, major discovery. And this is why I do this. This is absolutely why I do this. Wow. Okay. Let's see. The movement of the Muslim unit with its activation marker, and there was no Muslim combat, so I just did that off camera. Now I'm doing the player B activations and combat. And so I moved the unit here. This this cavalry unit here, this Yine cavalry unit, that one right there. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4. He's done moving. Take this off the board. So then I move the marker here from 2 to 3, which means that the Muslim player shows the archer marker with number 3 on it, because this is the third of the overall turn, the third Christian unit to move. When he's done moving, I conduct archer combat. I roll. I get a 5. 5 would normally be a retreat. Normally be a whatever it is. A withdraw, retreat, withdraw. I guess I should use the language of the game. I'll use the language of the game, even though I'm thinking of things differently. So a retreat, okay. But it's +1 because it's a Yine target. That is a archer combat die roll modifier. So it's actually a 6. 6 is a step loss. Here's where I was totally wrong. I was thinking that the unit has 1 step. And I was thinking that when it gets a step loss, that 1 step is gone and therefore it's eliminated. Okay? I don't know how. I know what, and I'll explain what I was doing. So I thought everything was straight. I was going to eliminate the Yine unit because I thought that it lost its 1 step. What I did is I went to the combat results. To figure out whether there was any exception for just archer combat. Maybe there was something like, if a unit would be eliminated by archer combat alone, then some other thing happens. No, I don't know. But here, I was rereading this, and it says, again, bad English translation, while the loss markers exceed the number of step losses, da 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 da. I think it's, it's when the loss markers exceed the number of step losses. Loss mark, yeah. That is very different than what I think of normally. So I went to the Spanish, and the original Spanish right there, and I'm going to show it, but there it is. At the moment that the loss markers exceed the number of step losses, then it's eliminated. That's totally different. So basically I was eliminating units too easily. So the YINA unit there does get a step loss marker. That's what that is. Step loss marker, because the number of step markers does not exceed its step loss value there. Yep, so I was off there. So all these units that show one step, it takes two step losses to kill them. It's just, that is not what I normally think of as loss steps, but steps of losses, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there we go. So that was archer combat using the Muslim archer marker, which I will turn over now. Which actually, we're gonna have another one. Then counters. Oh my! All right. So we move on. Here's the other Noxet marker. This is the medium cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stops in the zone of control. Go in order here. Okay, that goes off, and we move this to the 4th. A Christian unit to move. The Muslim player shows the 4 archer marker and conducts archer combat against it. Now, are the adult units, are the Adalides, I don't know where the accent is there, are they included in the range combat markers? No. Okay, so there's no modifier. So conduct range combat, a 2 is nothing. Okay. Alright, so he finishes moving. Now we go to combat, because that would be the end of the Christian activations for movement. Now we go to combat. It's just the one. I do need to figure out. Okay, so units don't fire using range combat, not the archer markers, but actual range combat is only during friendly impulses. Okay, all right, so that's not an issue. Okay, so here we do have the Adal unit. It has a attack dice number of 2. Can't think of any number of dice modifiers, so we roll. It's not bad. That's 8. It's against the Suhada infantry there. There aren't multiple units. There are not multiple attackers. It's not combined arms. The Suhada infantry there does not have a step loss marker. It's not a Kala. These aren't heavy cavalry. By the way, at some point I should talk about charging, and that's only for heavy cavalry. But I don't think I've even talked much about charging. I know I haven't had charges. Yeah. Alright. So I don't see that no modifiers apply, so it's 8 on a 2-die attack, and that is a retreat result. So just 1 hex back. That, and that's that. that'll be the end of the player B combats. So we can actually finish off this turn. There are no activation markers left. Actually, I guess that's important. You don't have to use. I guess that's implying you don't have to use your activation markers. We didn't use the camp markers. I don't think we have Zaga. No, we don't have replacements to worry about yet. So actually, that's the end of the turn. We'll go on to the second turn. This is, yeah, the second turn. I guess we can do it right now, because this second turn is when we're going to divide the Muslim side's Alama value. We're going to divide that in half again, rounded down. So let's take all the Naxat markers here. I'm trying to remember what we do first. What we do first is, so none of the Crusader archer markers came into play because we didn't get that high in number in this case. Alright, so I know we do this. We we draw our archer markers, so I'm shuffling them, drawing 3 here. There we go, 1, 4, and 6. We have to leave these pools. We haven't gotten to this yet, but these are pools to be drawn from, so we want to make sure that that pool stays. Oh, I'm sorry, 9. It's reading upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shuffle the Muslim archer marker. Draw 3, 2, and 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. Alright, I set up draw the archer markers. These are replacements. This is the Zugara number for reducing archers. Okay, now we go to we can do the activation rolls. Yes, we can. Muslims roll. Ooh, 11. That's great. Round up to 12. Well, actually, I'll do theirs first. That's easy. Not easy, but not that hard. All right, so they get a whole 6. So round up to 12, divide in half, 6 and 6. So I'm going to draw the 6 Naxat markers. 6 would normally go on the track like that, but we're having rounded down, so 3 instead. All right. For the Christian side, oh, they roll the same thing. All right, so that'll be interesting. Lots of activity. All right, so not draw. This is not a draw, but get 6 Naxat markers ready, and they get a whole 6 Alama on their Alama track. All right, so next player A would place theirs. Now, what do we want to do? We definitely want to continue moving up in the center. We want to continue moving up in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5 and 6. Get these ranged units into. Yeah, I think they would fire after they move. I think. I'm pretty sure about that. All right, for the Christian side, they also have 6. Let's talk about charging. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that the order unit here can charge. Yeah, I'll do that. Move the other Adal unit there. Move that Adal unit. And move the Yine unit. Actually, do the whole thing. The whole formation here, I mean. Of light cavalry. Okay. So that is knocks out markers placed for player A, then B, and then we would pick up with player A's activations for movement and combat.